Air-Clips.com.
Hi everyone and welcome to another episode of our Air-Clips Ultimate Cockpit Movies. I'm very proud and thankful to be the guest of Captain Ibrahim Koshi today, CEO of Saudia Airlines. Hi Ibrahim.
Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to have you here, Patrick.
Actually, we are here at the occasion of the Dubai Air Show, so I'm really excited to learn a lot of things going on at Saudia Airlines. But for our film here, there's just a short lead-in before you see the beautiful Boeing 747-400 freighter operated by Air Atlanta Icelandic. Cargo has been booming in the pandemic and post-pandemic. Within the Saudia Airlines group, what is the relevance of the cargo branch?
So Cargo operates as a separate entity, as a separate strategic business unit for Saudia. The cargo operates definitely a very strategic position for the company, but also there's a lot of the responsibility towards building the Vision 2030 of the kingdom. There's a national aviation strategy with which logistics and cargo plays a major role, and Cargo and Saudia we consider ourselves the wings of the Vision 2030 here. So okay. There is a major role on the cargo, yes.
Now, we've also been doing filming on Saudia Cargo itself, back then when you had the 747-8, particularly happy about that film. Now this aircraft, it wears the colors of Saudia and flies for Saudia, but it is operated by a different airline, is that right?
Correct. Air Atlanta has been a strategic partner with Saudia over the years, and it's a wet lease operation, an Acme operation. Saudia uses it for seasonal capacity that's required, and they're also operating freighters for additional capacity that Saudia has.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, and we will see quite some of that in Liège in a moment, where we are going to go to board our aircraft. Just before that, I have mentioned the Saudia 747-8 film on Air-Clips. On Air-Clips, we are very proud and thankful for our long-standing partnership with Saudia, and so far we have more than 2 million views on our films, and the growth is endless. Did you ever get any feedback on any film, Air-Clips film?
You know, Air-Clips has a lot of viewing, and specifically, I guess, with our pilot community. So I think it has a really positive impact. They enjoy the Air-Clips views there. 2 million views. That's very interesting to know. That's really good. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. And you guys, I don't want to hold you back any further. Let's switch over to Liège and look at our fantastic Air Atlanta Icelandic Saudia Cargo 747 freighter. Thank you very much, Captain Koshi, for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, from Liège Airport here in Belgium. I'm Patrick and I welcome you to another stunning episode of our Ultimate Cockpit Movies. Now you can already see behind me, that's the combination we love, a beautiful 747 and the Saudi flag on it. And if I turn around a little bit further, you can see this is a beautiful purpose-built 747-400 freighter aircraft. It is operated by Air Atlanta Icelandic on behalf of our partners at Saudia Airlines. And today I'm super excited to join the entire trip from here, Belgium, into Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, with a continuation of the flight to Nairobi, Kenya. Right in a moment you will see again a captain that you know and love, and a very nice first officer. I'm not going to tell you right now who's going to be the captain, but you will be pleasantly surprised. I will take a little walk into the aircraft now. It is obviously always exciting to walk up the stairs into a 747 freighter, then see the empty cargo bay all the way from the front to the rear. And what's special about the purpose-built freighters is, of course, that they have the nose door that can open up for loading outsized cargo. And this is also what we are going to see here today. So let me walk further up into the upper deck where the crew is gonna settle in a moment from now. And let's have a quick look into the cabin. Of course, with the classy short upper deck of the original 100 and 200 series of the 747, there is not so much space in this aircraft as we would have in a converted 747-400 freighter. But as you can see here, it is very comfy. You have great business class seats, and as usual on the cargo 747s, behind the business class seats you have 2 usable beds for crew rest purposes, so that's absolutely comfortable. Going further to the front, we have the galley here, fully equipped galley. The captain that we are going to see in a moment, with his Italian roots, he already mentioned that he would be even more happy to have this full-scale Italian coffee maker, but we are going to figure out what's in there for us. Of course, you got a restroom. And then the other thing that remains from the classic aircraft is really the upper deck emergency exit on the right side that you can see here. This is what we know from the old school 747s. And then last but not least, of course, we have a modern 747-400 cockpit. Well, let me already wish you a fantastic flight on Air Atlanta Icelandic and Saudia Cargo to Jeddah and Nairobi. Thank you very much for being here. Enjoy the trip.
Böyle git. Gel şimdi böyle.
Welcome guys, now the crew has arrived, as you can easily see, and as I promised earlier, we have a famous star and a fantastic colleague. Welcome back Giovanni, welcome Natacha. Why am I saying welcome? Thanks for having me at your flight deck.
Thank you, Patrick. It's always a pleasure to have you on board. So, and it's a pleasure to have Air-Clips on board with us. So today we are operating for Air Atlanta, very, let's say, old client, Saudia Cargo. We are in Liege, and today with me is Natacha. She will be the pilot flying, so she will give you some details about this flight. Natacha.
Hi everyone, so I'm Natacha, I'm from France, and as Giorgio said already, I'm laughing. As Giovanni said already, I'm gonna be the pilot flying for today, for the flight from Liège to Jeddah. So it's gonna be 5 hours 16 minutes flight time. We're gonna have good weather on the way actually, maybe some turbulence over Egypt. And we're gonna fly first flight level 330, and then we're gonna climb flight level 350. So it's gonna be a pretty smooth flight, I guess, for today.
Yes.
And then you're gonna take the second flight.
Yeah. Then after that, we will offload our cargo, and then we will proceed to Nairobi, and then. If Natacha lets me, I'll be the pilot flying.
Maybe. Let's discuss later on.
Yeah, and as Natacha kindly mentioned, there was a little bit of a hiccup in our conversation preparing the flight, and I think I used the wrong name for Giovanni, which was quite embarrassing.
But Giorgio is nice actually
I
as
think
well.
it was Giorgio, wasn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
Some Italian name with a G. Come on. I didn't mean Natacha with that one.
Private joke.
I guess we have a running gag here.
Let's call it G. That's it.
Yeah, Mr. G. Exactly.
Thank you for the mixture.
Signora G.
Yes.
Signora G.
Sounds good.
Perfect. Okay, guys, loading is still in progress, but it's soon coming to an end. Actually, it's nose loading today. We've been pretty lucky, as you could see already from the footage. The downside to it is that we are locked up on the flight deck, so the stair has to be up to the cargo main deck. This is why we are welcoming you from up here, taking advantage of the time. Once we're freed again, Free Willy style, then Captain Giovanni is performing the world's most interesting walk around, and funny enough,
Pressure is on you.
Oh God.
no pressure, I will
No
be
pressure.
allowed to chase him, and looking forward to that. Enjoy the rest of the journey.
Okay, guys. So now we are going to perform the walk around. The loading is still in progress, so Patrick, watch out. And yeah, we go down and I'll show you the feature of the 747 from the outside. Let's go. It's quite steep stairs. Okay, let's go down. Okay guys, here we are. As you saw, they just closed the nose loading. So now they will probably load some more cargo from the back door there. For us, we're going around and I'll show you some features. First thing, the aircraft has, on the outside, you can see those funny looking shape features. Those are sensors. So we check the integrity of those because they give us information in the flight deck. So those two like pipes, they are measure the speed of the air. So give us an airspeed. Then we have this little black mark you see there. It's it gives us information about the icing condition. Basically, it vibrates, and as the vibration, as the ice builds on the surface, the vibration rhythm change, and we get information in the flight deck that we are in icing condition, so we can use our anti-ice features. And then we have up there, that little wing there, it gives us the angle of attack of the aircraft. We can talk about that later on, okay? Let's go. So this is nose gear. We looked at around. We look for any leakage of the hydraulic. And then we look the integrity of the nose. And as you can see on this side, we also have other sensors. So we proceed. This machine here is giving us electrical power at the moment. The aircraft is powered only electrically. We have an APU which is off, so we save some fuel and noise. And this machine here gives us electrical power for the systems upstairs, so we can prepare for the flight. Now we carry on. Up here there is the electronic compartment. There are the computers, the main computers of the aircraft. We have to make sure that there is an airflow in, so to cool down this electrical bay, let's say. So down here you can see it. There is quite a strong flow of air coming down. See? Let's carry on. These are the intakes of the cool down for the air conditioning pack. So now they're off because APU is off. There is no bleed air. So normally here there's a very loud noise coming from this. And now we have the wing. The wing, we check the integrity. As you guys have heard probably, the word slats or leading edge flops. This is this part of the wing, which when we need it, we activate from the flight deck, and the whole front, it moves down and out. We can talk about this later, why we use these features. So we check that there is no bumps, the integrity of it, and we come to the engine. 747 has 4 engines, so 4 is better than 2. So we check that there is no damages. Those are sensors that measure the difference of pressure between the intake air and there is another sensor on the back, so makes a difference and give us the EPR. So we check that the engine is fine, there is no leak. There are no obstruction. You can see the fan and the engine itself is just this one. So it's quite small. You know, the air comes through that vein, passing through here, accelerated about 400 times. But what makes the fan turn is inside this one. Okay? So we carry on, we have to check every engine. One thing we have to check, you see that red line up there? That line, it shows us that the engine is structured. So if for some reason that's not aligned, that means the engine is loose. So we have to do something about it. The mechanics have to do something about it. So what I want to say is that we as pilots, we do this walk around, but the mechanics, they have done their checks before. Their so-called service check, transit check, they are much more deep than what we do. So now we proceed. So we check the leading edge of the wing. Normally winter is coming, we check about icing also, but today is not the day. And also so that little hole up there it's the vent for the fuel tanks. So to let's say equilibrate the pressure inside between the fluid and the air. So and if the fueling would not stop, some fuel would come out from there during the fueling, but this doesn't really happen. So that little hole up there. Now we come here, check the lights, and this thing, it's a great invention from this fin on the you see on the edge of some aircraft wings. Also, there is another aircraft there. That's an Airbus. The purpose of this is to reduce the drag, because during flight we have a difference of pressure between the lower part of the wing and the top part of the wing, so the air wants to go up. So this feature stops the air from going from down to up and reduces the drag, so we burn less fuel. That's the outcome of it. And then you see this little sticks coming out. These are dischargers of static electricity into the air. So we check we have all of them. Some can be missing according to the MEL, minimum equipment list, but you have all of them, so no problem today. Let's carry on. And if you see up here, there is a little pipe. This pipe, it's the nozzle where the fuel comes out if we need to jettison fuel, because we take off a certain weight, and normally the landing weight is much lower than the takeoff weight. So if we need, we have to discharge fuel. So we request CTC where to go. We go somewhere, we go in a holding, start to pump fuel out of the aircraft until we reach the weight that allows us to land. So it comes out from this side, and there is another on the other wing. We check the flaps, the integrity, the engines from behind, and if you look inside there, that's the turbine in the little hole. The real, turbine that makes turn the fan in the front. It's directly linked. And here we come to the wing gear. So we have the 4 wheels. We check that the tire is okay. We check the brakes. How do we do that? We have a little indicator here, a little stick. This shows us the consumption of the brake. So as the brake gets worn, this one goes backwards. We check for each wheel we have an indicator, so we check that. We check that there are no leakage of the fluids. And again, you see this brake is more worn than this one, if you can see that. This is longer, see? And if you go on this side, it's shorter. So probably this brake will be changed pretty soon, but we're still within limit, of course. Okay, and one important thing, guys, you have to kick the tire, Just kidding. So now we go. Same thing here, we check the brakes. We check under the wheel. And here, come in. We check there are no leakages, that all the pipes are properly connected. And that's it pretty much. And this here is, we can control the APU from the ground. So if the APU is running and there is nobody on board and there is a reason to shut it down, an emergency shutdown, you can do it from this place here. Normally here you have a loud noise from the APU, but now the APU is off. Up there you can see the exhaust of the APU, that it means auxiliary power unit. It's a small engine, looks like that one, but it's quite small, that runs just to give us air and electricity. So, but now it's off. So we check the integrity of all the surfaces. Yeah, we have more static dischargers. You can see the rudder. It's divided in two surfaces. All the way up there, more dischargers to check. We have to be cautious now, it's still loading. So we go around and check the other gear bay and wings gear on this side. Once again, you check each tire, the brakes, all the connections. And the bay. Lights on. All good. Okay, let's proceed.
Giovanni, you forgot one thing.
What? To kick the tire. The tire is good. Again. All good. All good. All good. Very well. Now we proceed with the back of the wing, so the flaps on this side. And you can see up there is the other nozzle where the fuel comes out in case of jettison, up here. So how do you guys remember where is the red light? This is the port side, the left. Port side, port, the drink is red. So port is red. On the other side is green. Okay. Again, the engine, the alignment, no leakages. Very good. Fantastic. And forgot to tell you before, these two circles, these are called static port. It's even written there, and they give us the static air pressure. So they give us information about our altitude in the flight deck. So here completes our walk around outside. Now we go inside and we check the all the emergency equipment and how the loading is going, you know. Let's go. So let's be careful, loading is still in progress. Yeah. Today was a very tough work for the crew here. see this very long pallets to load. It was very difficult, and you saw that in the video, of course. So what we do here, we check the emergency equipment, which is the fire extinguisher, check the expiration date, the pressure, and this is the mask we wear during the firefighting if there is a fire on board. Okay, this long stick, it's used to attach to this long pipe if we have to fight the fire in the bay here and we cannot reach it. So we do this connection and then you can reach. This one gives us about 14 seconds to discharge all of it. So it's quite strong and quick, so we have to be precise and careful when we use it. Yeah, now we go upstairs and check also the emergency equipment upstairs. Let's go. So we check the emergency equipment on the upper deck. This is the oxygen bottles, portable oxygen, the firefighting mask we check, and more fire extinguishers. Okay, so I'm done for now. I will continue a little bit to check the rest of the aircraft and talk to you in a little bit. Okay, guys, see you later.
Ground bonjour, Saudia 916.
Saudia 916, Grand bonjour, you're clear to Jeddah via the Ono 9er Romeo departure, initial climb flight level 50, squawk 0101, report ready for start and push.
Weekly Unknown 9er Romeo departure, climbing 50, squawk 0101 for Saudia 916, and I call you back when we are ready.
Correct, you still requesting vectoring after departure?
If it's possible, yes please.
Yes, no problem. My colleagues advised me, so no problem. You may expect we coordinate that with you when you're ready.
Merci beaucoup, c'est très gentil.
Je vous en prie.
Just to let you know, it's gonna be a right takeoff seat, all packs on.
Yep.
And according to performance, we expect flap 10 for departure.
Okay.
Flap 20, sorry, for departure.
Yeah, today's flop 20.
Yeah. So do you have any question, maybe?
No questions, well, except the fact that if you're going to fly the Aernav, as we discussed, you're going to be using autopilot.
I mean, definitely, yes.
But most likely we get another vector departure.
Well, as you said, if we have any enough departure, I will ask you around 400 feet to engage the autopilot. If it's radar vectors, if you're happy with that and if you don't mind, I'm going to hand fly the airplane.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
As long as I can. But of course, if you like too busy or anything, just ask me anytime. You can engage the right autopilot.
No problem.
All good.
Yes. So other thing to mention is the MSA 3500 is the highest.
Checked.
And it's on the southeast. And so we bear in mind 4000 we're above everything.
Definitely.
Weather seems to be fine today. Other threat. Any other threat? Patrick is a threat, I think. No, I'm just kidding. So that's it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So if you agree, we can go for the emergency briefing.
I'm ready for the emergency briefing.
So the emergency briefing on the ground. Before 80 knots, we stop for any caution, any message, any indication the aircraft is unsafe to go flying. After 80 knots, we stop for any fire, engine failure, predicting wind shear, takeoff configuration warning. As I said, any indication the aircraft is unsafe to go flying, abnormal acceleration. So if I call stop, I'll take control, disengage the auto throttle, return thrust lever, deploy speed brake, apply reverse, try to apply symmetrical reverse, keep the center line, monitor the brake. You will call me 80-60. Once we come to a stop, I will apply parking brake, go on the PA, cruise standby.
Sure.
And then we assess the situation. If I call for memory items, you will perform on the ground without my confirmation. If I call for a QRH, we'll simply follow it. After that, we reassess together the situation. If we reckon that the evacuation is required, I will call for the emergency evacuation checklist, which is on the back side of the QRH. Just we read and do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if we reckon that there is no threat, no evacuation needed, we make sure nobody open any door.
Sure.
And we ask ATC to vacate the runway. We monitor the brake temperature. Should be alright today. We're fairly heavy, but temperature is cold, so we vacate the runway. But if we see that the brake temperature goes dramatically high,
Yeah.
and you call the fire brigade to approach the aircraft,
Sure.
and I will not use the parking brake as the manual says.
Okay.
After V1, we continue, and it's all yours.
Okay. After V1, if we have any failures, so after V1, no action below 400, except the landing gear up at 250. I will ask you for the heading select bank 15. There is no emergency turn on the on this one, so we just continue on the autopilot straight. Actually, today we expect 1700 feet, so at 400 feet, I will just ask you for the memory item.
Yep.
It's gonna be my control, my ATC. We will take our time. You will do your memory item. I'm gonna fly, and as soon as we are at 1700 minimum, we clean the aircraft. As soon as the aircraft is cleaned up, then I will ask you for the normal checklist. We will treat the problem together. We're gonna take our time if it's not a big deal. We're gonna be a bit heavy today, about 332 tons. So we can expect to dump some fuel. The MSA sector, the highest one is 3,500.
500, yeah.
So we can expect to climb above 3,500, dumping some fuel after that, about 5,000 or anything. And well, let's make a deal after that with the control. We dump the fuel and we expect to come back later on. If it's like fire or anything else, like dangerous time, in that case we just ask for any radar vectors or visual to come back anytime in Liège, as we're gonna be a heavyweight, of course.
Perfect.
But yeah.
Well, I run the performance with one engine out, heavyweight. With auto brakes 4, we stay on the runway, but of course we can use maximum. Yeah. Just one thing: if the malfunction is not engine related, navigation performance is not a problem, we can stay on the SID.
Definitely.
Okay.
Happy with that.
Very good. No questions. And before start checklist, down to the line.
Before start checklist, pins and covers.
Removed.
Upper deck doors.
Checked.
Oxygen.
Set.
Flight instrument.
Checked.
Altimeters.
1022 cross-checked.
Fuel quantity.
We required 80 tons. Fuel is balanced. Check.
Check. Fuel control switches.
Cut off.
Auto brakes.
RTO.
Passenger sign.
On.
Briefing.
Is completed.
Before start checklist, down to the line, completed.
Check. Okay. So we have flaps 20, acceleration 1010.
Check.
Takeoff. We selected temperature 49. We expect 1.40.
Checked.
We have 146, 157, 167, and no emergency turn.
Checked.
If you're happy,
all the same.
Send this one.
Happy.
SVA 916 22.
All right.
At this point, let's push some numbers in here.
Okay, so we expect the cost index 90.
90.
Reserve 17.8. And 2,000 the stage size. Zero fuel. Weight. It's gonna be, if you agree, 253.6.
Yes. 253.6. Takeoff 3322, something like that.
Yeah, it's 332.2. It's confirmed. Cross limitation. So we expect takeoff.
Yeah. Climb.
Which is checked. 49.
49. We expect 1.40. We have 1.41, which is more than we expect, and we like that. 1.41.
1.41 is set.
So climb. Take
then
off.
It's gonna be flap 20.
Flaps 20.
3,000.
3,000.
Acceleration 1010.
1010. Set.
First reduction 1,500.
Set.
The CG will be 30.
30.
And we expect 4.1.
something. We have 4.1.
Perfect.
Fantastico.
And the speeds are 146,
146,
157,
157,
167.
167.
So I'm coming in a minute to set the speeds. So 167, LNAV, VNAV according to clearance, 043 and 50 sets.
Fantastic. Very good.
Oh, good.
So this is done. ATC we have.
Oh, good.
Oh, we just need Eddie to tell us is good to go.
Yes, sir, yeah.
We are good to go.
Yes, sir.
You give the papers.
Got it here?
You can close.
Okay.
Alas, let's go.
All good. Do you want to start the APU during that time?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's start the APU. APU running. And one connected. And they close the door, so if you want, and start.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, APU Gen 1 and 2 are connected.
Okay, they're moving the stairs now.
He's already taking the video for you.
Oh yeah? Poor him. I know how that feels when you're filming for half an hour then and nothing moves.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Captain. Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Captain, all doors and hatches are closed. All ground handling material has been removed from the aircraft. Steering pin is in place and tow bar is connected.
Fantastic. Thank you. Stand by, please.
Standing by.
Before start procedure.
Before start procedure. Recall 4321 shutdown.
Check.
Okay. And ground from Saudia 9164 stand 130. We are ready for push and start.
Saudia 916, startup and pushback is approved. Report ready for taxi. Expect taxi via November 1.
Push and start approved. We expect November 1 for taxi, and I call you back when ready for taxi for Saudia 9016.
Thank you. Checklist below the line, please.
And below the line, mobile devices
Off.
and off. CDU pre-flight.
Complete and checked.
Demand pump 4.
Aux.
Demand pump 1, 2, 3.
Auto.
Pax.
2 and 3 are off.
Trim.
4.1. 0 and 0.
Beacon.
Boat
Transponder.
is on
Alt on. And before start checklist below line, completed.
Thank you. Ground flight deck.
Correct, Captain.
Yes, we are here to push and start. And we expect taxi via November 1. Park brake is set.
Copy November 1. You may release parking brake, Captain.
Park brake release, you can commence taxi. Pushback, sorry.
Approximately 10 minutes.
Can you confirm that
Runway
flight
is
set
approved.
45?
Reported complete.
4-5 checked.
Yeah, 1345.
Copy that. I'll call you back for engine start.
Thank you.
And clear right.
Very good. We made it. Finally.
Captain, we're ready for engine starts.
Roger, thank you. Starting 4, 3, 2, and 1 in sequence. Starting in 4 now.
Copy, 4, 3, 2, 1, clear for 4.
This is a manual start. Start engine 4, please.
Starting 4.
Start 3, please.
Starting 3.
Starting 3.
Captain, pushback has been completed. Can you please set parking brake?
Park brake set.
Copy, parking brake set. Tow bar is disconnected, Captain.
Thank you. Start engine 2, please.
Starting 2.
Starting engine 2.
Clear for 2.
Start engine 1.
Starting 1.
Starting engine 1.
Clear for 1.
After start procedure.
After start procedure. Recall is checked.
Checked. Ground flight deck. Yeah, all good here for us. Thank you for your help. You can disconnect. Have a good day. Ciao.
Copy that, Captain. Forward start. I'll disconnect and you'll see me on the right hand side. Have a nice night. Have a nice evening.
You too. Ciao. When you see this gentleman,
Yeah, sure.
you can read the checklist.
Okay, I can see him.
Alright, after start checklist.
After start checklist APU.
Off.
Anti-ice.
Off.
Vehicle.
Checked.
Ground equipment. Clear right.
Clear left. Removed.
Transponder.
Alt on.
And after start checklist completed.
Thank you very much. Flight
You're
controls,
welcome.
please.
Flight control. Full forward. Center. Now it's gonna be something. Left. Center. Full left. Center. And full right. Center.
Alright, please follow me on the rudder.
Ready?
Flaps 20.
Flaps 20.
And you can please request taxi.
And Saudia Liner 16, we are ready for taxi and able to depart Charlie 0.
Charlie 0 to Cockpit, taxi to holding point 04 right via Delta, November 1, cross 04 left, Charlie 0, QNH 1021.
Okay, we are clear. Delta, November 1, course 04 left, Charlie 0, and QNH 1021 for Saudia 9016. Clear right?
Clear left side. Okay, so straight ahead.
Straight ahead.
And then we are clear already to cross runway.
Exactly,
04
04 left to Charlie 0.
Okay.
When ready, Charlie 0, 118, 130, Saudia 9016, merci, au revoir. Clear right.
Clear left. Very good. Okay, Natacha. We have no changes to the clearance. 5000 is there. Nav is armed.
Checked.
So before takeoff, down to the line, please.
And before takeoff, down to the line, flaps.
20, 20, 20. Cross-checked.
Flight control.
Checked.
Takeoff briefing.
Review.
Cabin.
Secure.
Before takeoff checklist, down to the line, completed.
Merci.
De rien. Okay, so next to the left on November 1. We clear to cross 04 left to Charlie 0.
Check.
Which is really short taxi actually.
Yeah.
Are you ready approaching Charlie 0?
I am, if you are.
Alright. I am. Strobe is on.
Thank you.
Tower, good afternoon from Saudia 9016, approaching Charlie 0, fully ready.
Saudia 9016, yes, tower, line up and wait, runway 0 for right.
Line up and rate 0 for right for Saudia 9016.
Okay.
Alright.
Let's copy it.
Weather is set on my side.
And terrain. And
Getting who take your seat.
checklist below the line.
Below the line, PAX.
On.
Transponder.
TA array.
Before takeoff checklist below the line, completed.
Thank you.
You want me just to confirm the departure, just in case?
Yeah, you can ask
There is
them
no
if
misunderstanding?
yeah,
Alright.
good.
And Saudia 9016, confirm Elno 9 Romeo for departure?
Yeah, I will coordinate with Brussels, don't worry, you will get your vectoring.
Okay, thank you. So we keep Elno 9 Romeo for now. Saudia 9016, merci beaucoup.
Jet Netherlands 0893, passing 2500.
Clear right?
Clear left. And we are clear to line up.
Exactly. Approach is clear.
And left is clear.
And beacon on.
Okay. You have control.
My control.
My radio.
And your radio.
Remember the button, right?
Sure.
Saudia 9016, the wind 01, 0 degrees, 5 knots runway, 04 right here for takeoff. You are cleared flight level 100.
Clear for takeoff, runway 04 left, right, sorry, Saudia, and we are cleared initial level 100, Saudia 916.
Saudia 916 correct, and initially runway heading I will vector you to expect a direct Golf Tango Kilo later on.
Perfect. You maintain runway heading after departure. So the 916.
Okay, so 10,000. Yeah, if you can disconnect it. Okay, so VNAV heading mode 10,000 is set.
Ready?
And we are ready. So timing and set thrust.
Traffic coming. Thrust set. knots.
Checked.
B1. Rotate. Positive.
Gear up.
Gear up.
Heading select.
Heading select.
So Giovanni 16, turn left heading 270.
Left heading 270, so the 916.
Select heading 270.
Left,
Left.
heading 270.
Checked. Flap 10.
Speed check. Flaps 10.
Flap 5.
Speed check. Flaps 5.
So Giovanni 16, continue left turn heading 250 and reclear flight level 210.
Continue left turn 250, continue climb 210, so the 916.
Okay, flap 1.
Coming, I give you the heading 250.
250 check.
Speed check. Flaps 1, and I give you also 210.
210 please. Checked. Flaps up.
Speed check. Flaps up, transition.
Check standard set.
Check, standard set.
Outboard taxi lights off, please.
Yeah, check.
And after takeoff checklist.
After takeoff
Saudia
checklist.
916, turn left direct, Gros Tanquin, Golf Tango, Quebec, sorry.
Left direct Golf Tango Quebec. Saudia 916.
Okay, select Golf Tango Quebec.
Golf Tango Quebec is on top. Confirm.
I do confirm.
Execute. Give the heading.
Thank you. I will turn first.
And after takeoff checklist, landing gear up and off, flaps are up. Checklist is completed. Speed is good for the bank, yes.
Thank you. And we can. Okay, LNAV available. Can you select LNAV?
Well,
LNAV straight.
Saudia 916, contact no Brussels on 128.2, bye-bye sir.
128.2, Saudia 916, and thank you very much for your help. Have a good day.
$10,000.
Yeah.
Select right autopilot.
Right. Autopilot on command.
Thank you.
Lights. Thank you.
Lights are on.
Brussels, good day. Saudi 916, passing 106, climbing 210, direct Golf Tango, Quebec.
Saudia 916, good day, radar contact, climb to flight level 240.
Continue climb level 240, Saudi 916.
240 set.
Check.
You happy to release him? In the
Yeah,
back?
for me it's fine.
Alright.
Let's see.
Alright.
Very good, we are on the way.
Yeah. Thanks for your help.
Thank you.
Alright, so it's climbing. 240 is set. On course to Gros Tanquin.
Sure. Patrick,
Yes, sir.
can you do something for us?
Of course.
Up there? Up there, there. There is that white knob back. Yeah, the temperature. No, this side.
Why?
Yeah,
Oh, this
that
one.
Can you put it on both? On the left, turn it to the left.
Left both.
Yeah, fantastic.
Okay. This felt scary, but we are still flying. That's good.
Yeah, you didn't break anything, you see?
Alright.
Thank you.
So,
I think it's okay.
yeah, 6 was fine. Sorry. 6 everywhere?
Yeah, well, here we put 10
Alright.
because there's a split of temperature.
And 10 is set. Well, more or less.
Saudia 916, 10 degrees to the left.
10 degrees to the left, so the 916.
Okay, left 10 degrees, heading 141. Heading select.
So 150 is the washout. It's anyway
Yeah.
the same value.
We're almost there.
I need sunglasses, maybe.
I think it's a good idea.
We're all flying Luxembourg.
Thank you.
So now we will proceed south, we enter France, then Switzerland,
Okay.
then Italy.
Okay.
Your home and mine.
Yeah, both. Yeah.
And then, yeah, Greece, Egypt, and finally Jeddah.
Perfect.
Maybe we feel lucky we get a nice view of the Alps.
Oh yeah, will we?
I never know. You maybe.
Ah, yeah.
Maybe depends of the clouds.
Yeah.
Or maybe the Stadium of Napoli?
No, we're not flying above Napoli. We're flying on the east coast.
Oh, you guys have the choice up front.
Yeah.
It's for Napoli.
It's all right.
You've been flying quite a bit by hand, Natacha.
So, well, actually, I like to fly as much as I can, but sometimes, unfortunately, you can't, or you're tired, or or the captain can be busy. So, well,
Yeah, nice.
yeah.
So you have no restrictions by the company for that.
Well, actually, it depends of the airport. For example, when you have this aircraft departure, you strictly have to follow the route. So then you use the autopilot just after takeoff. And today we were lucky to have this radar vectors departure, because then you can hand fly.
Okay, good.
So yeah,
That is lucky, yeah.
exactly. I mean, it's nice to fly also because it to keep you just
you trained.
Yeah, of course, train you always. But when you're busy, if you have bad weather or anything else, of course, well, I mean, the autopilot is there, so you have to use it. Look at the mountains in front. Cavalcade, no wind, Cavalcade. I mean, it's
Fantastic.
perfect everywhere today.
Good.
Good.
Okay.
It's pretty amazing. Look at this.
There they are.
You can see the Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc.
Yes, right side.
So if you guys want to see the Mont Blanc on the chart, you can look for a point called Mont Blanc.
Yeah, true.
Let's see.
In Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc. Let's see in the fixed page.
And yeah, we can see Mont Blanc.
That's it, guys. This is Mont Blanc. This is the Mont Blanc. So it's the highest mountain in Europe.
You've been there?
Yeah, actually. I was with my family long time ago,
Yeah.
but we didn't go all the way up.
Well, it's beautiful. I mean, of course, the Pyrenees are better than the Alps, but
Yeah. So now we are going to overfly the Alps. So we have to bear in mind that if for any reason we need to go down for an emergency, for a depressurization, so we have mountains. So as you heard maybe before, I was telling, we were discussing with Natacha, the minimum grid altitude is 158. The issue now for us is to bear in mind which is the highest point. So if we need to go down for any emergency reason, we are aware that the highest is level 158. So
say again,
158, so 15,800.
That's
so
pretty high.
In this corridor we're using.
Okay.
So if you need to go down, we level off, of course, before that.
Yes,
Skip
please.
the mountains and then we can go down again.
Okay.
yeah.
But another issue when you fly over mountains like this, here, the Pyrenees, if you have a wind that is crossing the mountains perpendicular, you can have the turbulence
Oh yeah.
due to mountain waves.
Yeah.
because the flow of the wind goes over the mountains and becomes turbulent. So sometimes you have some bounce. That's it.
Super nice. Natacha, this one peak up there, this like thin thing going up, is that Mont Blanc?
No, the Mont Blanc is at 3 a.m. That's the biggest one. You can see the highest one on the,
right,
on the right side.
right abeam.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
This one here in my camera?
Yeah, that's that one. Exactly.
Okay.
This one.
Excellent. Yep, the big one. Mont Blanc, finally. I don't know how often in my life I've been happy to spot Mont Blanc looking at some other random
Well, I mean,
mountains.
when you don't know, it's not easy. I mean, you know.
Finally, I know. That's right. Thanks, Natacha.
You're welcome.
Wow, this is great.
So we're actually in Switzerland,
Okay.
and then Italy is the next one.
Italy. Giorgio, Giancarlo, Giuseppe.
All of them.
That's exactly. Oh no, I was just talking to you. It's not every time that you get such a crisp view over the mountains
Oh,
here.
sure. Yeah.
Nice.
See Zurich. It's on.
Oh, really?
Is
Is that
Yeah, we passed it already.
is that Lake Zurich on the left? No.
Zurich is. The
Okay.
lake is it's behind us now.
Far left,
Sorry,
okay.
I forgot
No worries.
to tally.
No worries.
Yeah, maybe we'll be able to see Venice on after on the left side.
If we
After
can
we
do
cross.
Venice, we can do Napoli.
Unfortunately.
Come on. Crazy. Awesome.
So fuel is transferring. I wonder where do they park us in Jeddah? Because they have to offload by the nose. How
Yeah.
can they know that? This is where we normally park. They cannot do that.
You're right, actually.
There's the building in front.
Yeah, that's true.
So if they give us that parking, I'll call Eddie, and maybe he has a phone number
Yeah,
to coordinate.
we're gonna fix it.
Wow, look at that lake on top of the mountain peaks there. Unbelievable.
In Alaska, that was pretty awesome to just see all of these mountains, you know, like completely full of snow. And
Yeah. So Patrick, just telling you what when I asked you to switch that thing, what was it?
I was scared it might have been the autopilot or
No.
or the
Eject.
ejection seat
Ejection
or
of the- how you say-
chemtrails or how do you call that, the afterburner?
Yeah,
But
afterburner.
I
that'd
think
be great, actually.
but to my disappointment, I think it was only the temperature, wasn't it?
Yeah, basically
Low-
we have a cargo sensitive, which is fresh vegetables.
Okay.
So when we have to keep the temperature in that cargo hold between 2 and 8. When you switch that on, we can control the temperature. Basically, the air conditioning system is gonna blow some air in there
Okay.
to cool down. But these will make us burn more fuel.
Sorry, they
Make us burn more fuel.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
but it's all calculated in the flight plan.
Okay.
Because they know. And you can see you have this high flow here. That
Okay.
means the packs are blowing more air than
Okay.
usual.
Okay.
Normally in cruise, this high flow, it's not there normally in cruise.
Okay. All right.
We can switch on the high flow if we need,
Mm-hmm.
but normally it's not on. But when you use this extra feature for the temperature in the cargo hold,
All right.
then it goes on.
Okay.
That's all.
That's
That's all you did.
the first. But for me, it's a big move. Yeah. First time ever I changed the system on a flying aircraft,
Good.
and hopefully the last time.
I mean, that's not much. Don't worry. So yeah, we arrive at 1903, which gonna be 1910 or 15, I guess.
Yeah.
Where are you from in Italy?
Really? I'm from Naples.
Are you?
Yeah.
Good food there.
Huh?
You have very good food there.
Yeah.
I mean,
all the
almost-
Italian food, you know, it comes from Naples. Not
yeah,
pizza.
that's true. Pizza. It's so true.
Pizza. The bolognese is actually a sauce invented in Naples. Pasta was invented in Naples. Mozzarella was
Oh.
invented in Naples.
Now I'm getting hungry, you know.
Espresso, coffee. Why coffee is in Italy? It's because of Naples. So because the wife of the king of Naples, she was from Austria.
Okay.
She was the one because the Austrians they were using coffee because the Ottoman Empire connection, I think. So when she moved to Naples, because she married the king, she brought coffee.
Okay.
And the people there really liked it in the palace, and then it started to be something very used. But what's the difference is that the technique to toast coffee,
Yeah.
it's different in
Okay, yeah.
in Italy, well in Naples.
Yeah.
And then it was something like
I can see that it's very different.
yeah, this one is this one. Don't tell anybody I made this coffee.
Don't worry, maybe it's gonna be on the video.
Shh, guys, it's really bad coffee.
Well,
don't tell Leslie, because last time he made coffee, it was good.
it's more like an American coffee.
Yeah. Well, we don't even have a
I
coffee
give it-
machine on
I will
board.
take it
Ah,
for
forgot.
later.
You going out?
I will, in a couple of minutes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
This is nice, but yeah.
See this area here? It comes out.
Yeah.
It's called Gargano. It's this part of Italy.
What's the name of this place you said?
It's Gargano.
Gargano. I think I've
Is
never
this
been there.
part of Italy?
Yeah.
The how do you call it? You know the thing behind the foot of the chicken.
Yeah. Okay, I know what you mean,
I don't know in English.
but I don't know in French too. So.
It's called sperone in Italian. So anyway, this area it's a national park, and there are very beautiful. The seaside is beautiful, and the mountain also.
Really?
It's really nice.
I've never been to this place. Lago di Varano.
Don't. 1,000 below.
Checked. But this is really beautiful country in Italy. It's a lot of nature and mountains and
Yeah, mostly people they go to Milan for vacation. I don't know what the hell
that's
they
a shame to go to Milan. I mean, come on.
what they go to see in Milan.
Yeah, I don't know why actually.
But
I mean, for me, Milan is like Paris. Everybody's just going there
No, it's not like Paris.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean? It's like everybody knows only Milan or Paris, so everybody's just moving there for holidays. But you have so many good other places around, like go to the countryside or small cities and... Alright, 350. VNAV selected. So still a VNAV heading 136 and 350 final.
Very good.
And well, yeah, but I mean, in Italy you have so many good places, small villages, you know, and
Yeah.
and good wine and good food. Really, I mean, for me with friends, I mean, I'm from France, but I love the French food, I have to say,
Yeah.
and this is really, I mean, we really enjoy the life and the food, and
Yeah, it's the same. We are very similar.
yeah,
But today looks like it's something bad when people enjoy life.
that's true.
Because you have to work, and yeah, of course we have to work, but
Yeah,
life
but
is short. You know?
Hey, life is definitely too short. Just enjoy
So-
every moment in life. You really have to. So you just arrived on base, you told me.
Yeah, I was at the simulator.
Yeah? How was it?
Yeah, it was good.
Good?
It was interesting, very
Yeah?
interesting.
What are you doing on the second day?
Yeah, it's to loft, and they show you, make you experience like slippery runway, rejected takeoff at low V1, and it's very interesting how the effectiveness of the rudder.
Yeah?
You know, you need the full rudder.
Really?
Because it was around V1 was around 128, something like that.
Yeah?
And so and then the VR was 42 knots more. So you have to stay for a long time on the runway,
Yeah? Oh,
and you really need the full rudder because the speed is so low
Wow.
that then as the speed increases, you have to release a little bit.
yeah?
Yeah, because then the surface is more effective with the speed,
I think it's something good.
and a little bit of forward pressure helps.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, it was very interesting, and I learned a lot.
I mean, the second day is always interesting. You can see
Yeah.
everything you want, actually. I was enjoying the raw data session on the previous
Yeah.
simulator.
Yeah. Also, yeah, last sim.
Yeah,
also.
but this aircraft is so stable.
Yeah, it's
I mean-
nice.
It's extremely stable.
It's almost like an Airbus without
I
the
never flew the Airbus. But that's true, you were flying the potato.
yeah.
The French potato. Winter time is coming, I guess.
Yeah, man. I think I don't know how this gentleman is doing it, but during the walk around, you know, I forgot to put on my jacket before, and I was like,
Yeah,
I was freezing to death.
No,
and
you kidding me? Come on, today it's not cold.
yeah, but
No.
outside when the walk around was there.
yeah, because there was no more sun.
Suddenly the sun was
It
gone.
It
Yes.
was much cooler than we were before. We were with the sun, waiting,
Guys,
I don't complain.
you're
I
too
like
fragile, you know.
I like the cold.
Yeah,
After
me
this
too.
hot summer.
I prefer cold weather.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Thank you very much. Just super. Thank
2
you.
stars Michelin.
Yes.
Yay. Cool. Oh, there's some other traffic in front, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we climbed 350.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So I always thought 747s are so fast. So could you please go and get him for the camera?
Let's do it. Afterburn.
How exactly the afterburner, not the ejection one. So how fast are we? 0.84.
Yeah, 0.84.
Yeah.
But it's perfect weather today.
Super nice.
Yeah, smooth ride. So far, so good.
Oh, it's still far out. So, what were you about to say, Giovanni?
See, yeah, you have been on so many airplanes, So you ask about the speed, decimal 8.4. Do you know what's mean decimal 8?
I think it should be the Mach designator, right?
Yeah, but what means 8.4? Do you have an idea?
No, I'm sorry, guys.
You know.
First, you really want to start this discussion with an embarrassing moment for me, right?
No.
No, I mean you're not supposed to know.
All right. Let me see what I can edit out of all this. No, yeah, sorry. No, I have no
So-
clue. Tell me, please.
Let's say, do you know what is Mach 1?
Mach 1 should be the speed of sound, no?
Perfectly. So, and do you know why we have each airplane, different airplane has a maximum Mach number can fly?
Okay.
It's because on top of the wing, the airflow goes faster.
Oh, yeah.
This is what generates the force, so-called lift.
Yeah.
So when on top of the profile of the wing, the air speeds up, so the pressure decreases. So you have the lift, like you say these things you use in the toilet, you know. How do you call them?
Yeah, in German it would be a püppel. I don't know what that in
No,
English
this thing to.
That is a lovely explanation of why a 747 flies.
No, it's-
Like this thing in the toilet, guys, remember?
This is what happened.
No, but it's...
We get sucked up. So
Yes, yes.
it's not the wing on the air.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
actually a suction. So anyway,
I need to get the pictures out of my mind now,
Yeah,
but yeah, I
it's
know what you mean. Yeah.
Actually, to be honest with you, I got the same problem now. It's just in my mind, you know. But thank you.
but you will remember now.
Yes, definitely. How could you forget that?
So and now I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, so the speed of the air is faster on the wing. So it means that if you fly too close to the speed of sound, the air on the wing will be faster, and you will have the air reaching Mach 1.
Oh,
That what happened in that case? You have a shock wave that creates on top of the wing,
oh.
like you know when the supersonic airplane they fly.
You see the strange
Yeah.
condensation.
That's a shock wave. So
Ah,
the air is
okay.
compressed. So that thing is like a wall, and it can break the wing
Oh,
because the air is like hitting against a surface. This is very simplified. So that's why the airplanes, they have a margin to fly, a margin under the speed of sound.
okay. So it's not, in some cases, it's not the capability of flying faster, but just a limitation not to get closer to.
Too close to the
to
speed
Mach
of-
1.
Yeah.
Ah,
The military jets, they have no issue with that. So.
yeah.
And the Concorde
Yeah.
It was made for that.
was
yeah.
made for that.
Yeah.
And the wing shape,
Yeah.
it's the key.
Yeah. Okay.
And so
The wings were beautiful in Concorde.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah. And I mean, you've been, Giovanni, in the previous film. You told us you've been flying the A380,
Yes.
A340s, I think, as well.
Yes,
330.
330 and 340.
So did you speaking about speed? Did you also fly the 300, the A340 300?
I flew the A340 500 and
So
the A340 300.
The 300 as well.
Yes.
So speaking about speed,
It's a
what can you tell about the the 340 300?
yeah, it's a bit underpowered, let's say.
Yeah. But the
So
500 should be the right
Yeah,
straight
it's
opposite.
beautiful airplane.
it's
It's
good,
really
yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, it's actually very nice also to fly manual flight.
Come on, you're not flying on the Airbus. It's just
Yeah.
like
Here we come.
I'm just kidding.
Here we come.
But-
With, side stick, no trim. But you know, she flies helicopters.
Oh yeah,
in
I
her
saw
spare
that on
time,
your.
So they're
I saw that on your iPad, Natacha.
The helicopter is an Airbus,
see,
actually.
It's
Yeah, it's
How
my
is
baby.
it? Ah, very nice. It's an H125.
Yeah. Oh, he knows.
Yeah,
you should
I know
do
Uli. Uli has one.
you can see the one I have on my jacket.
The potato, the French potato.
No, I don't know.
Well, you're French. You're allowed to say something like
I
that.
mean, I'm living nearby Toulouse, so I can see all the Airbus 380s and 350s.
The French potatoes.
So for me, it's a French potato, for real. I mean, it looks like
You
French
know, the
potato.
funny thing is, to do the cockpit preparation, we have a little acronymus to don't forget the flow, and the acronym was potato
on the 380.
on the A380.
Are you
yes.
kidding me?
Yeah, it's serious.
So you see,
French potato.
I
Well,
told you. But to be honest, when I flew this aircraft as a passenger, and you're going to the flight deck, it's just amazing on the 380.
It's a beautiful aircraft.
It's amazing.
yeah, it is. It was.
Not
is,
so good
was.
looking from outside. But
From outside, no, but from inside, it's
very
perfect.
nice, comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
She's getting upset now.
You look better. You look better for sure. For
You
sure.
look better. You're more charming.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'm way better. I mean, yeah. Well, I still remember. I don't know how old I was when I first saw the first drawing of the A3XX when the concept came out, and my first thought was, really? Can't we do something big and beautiful?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But from the inside, it's great. Yes.
I
Agree.
saw the 380 first time when I landed. I was flying MD-80,
Oh.
and we landed in Germany. I think it was Frankfurt and Munich. Frankfurt. Anyway, they were doing this test for the trial for the taxi, I think, and he was there, the A380
Oh yeah.
from Airbus, and I was like, wow.
And you thought.
I never thought I would fly that thing.
You see?
But Natacha, tell us something about you, because you know, Giovanni, we know him.
It's not Giovanni, it's Giorgio.
Giorgio, exactly. Giancarlo. He's halfway to Hollywood already with the
Yeah,
first
sure.
Magma film.
Sure.
But what about you, Natasha? So you fly a helicopter? or
Well,
what-
to be
how-
honest, me, I'm a baby pilot. I start my career in 2015,
Okay.
so I'm still a baby. And
Flying a
yeah,
747. Oh.
well, that was not the first one. That was the King Air. I started on the King Air.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and that's my favorite aircraft, is the 74. And then I was flying for about 3 to 4 years the Embraer Legacy,
Oh, nice.
600 and 650. I was
Bus-
based,
Business aviation.
yeah, I was based in London and then Moscow,
Ah, okay.
which was lovely. And yeah, business aviation. And on the King Air, it was for medevac flight.
Oh, also interesting.
Yeah, very, very good. And then I moved into the 74 for like 3 years now, flying the 74 for 3 years.
Nice.
And the helicopter is just for private things, you know. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
It is actually so funny because we just did a film. It's been published recently on National 747, and the first officer Casey, she just been transitioning from Embraer 145 to the
Yeah.
right seat of the 747. So it's basically
It's the same.
exactly the same
Yeah, that's the
transition
same
that
for
you've
me.
done.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's amazing.
That's
What a
the
coincidence.
same, really. And I really love to fly as much as I can. Also when I go home.
So what are your feelings about the Embraer, flying wise? How did it behave?
It's a bit heavier plane, but it's a pretty good one. I like it. I mean, that was my first jet actually. So of course it's
yeah.
a
Heavy
special
in terms
place for
of-
me.
Heavy in terms of challenging, or
No, heavy to fly.
oh yeah,
Yeah. It was
okay,
heavy. Yeah.
okay.
But I like it. That was my first jet. So yeah.
And how do you come to fly the Airbus H125, the helicopter? I mean, you have one in your garden, like Oli?
I would
or-
love to.
I know someone who has it.
I would love to. I mean, I can find some squirrel in my garden, but not the same one. So, well, no. I mean, it's a very long story. When I was 3 years old, I'm born in Biarritz, in the southwest of France, and I mean, when I was 3, we were at the ocean with my parents, and the rescue helicopter just landed in front of me, and it was a squirrel.
Ah, okay, yeah, classic one.
And at that time, I decided to be a helicopter pilot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
At the age of
3.
super.
I mean, in my family,
Really?
nobody is flying, or nobody is pilot or anything else related to aviation, actually. And that was always my dream.
And that stayed on from the
well,
age of 3.
Actually, when I was growing up, then I grew up with the team from this helicopter. It was rescue flight only, so
Okay.
I grew up with them actually for many, many years. Then I started to fly when I was 13 on a light airplane. And then I discovered the 747, you know, everywhere I can find a TV or anywhere. And well,
Air-Clips.
it was also another part of my dream. But yeah, so when I was going with the helicopter, I flew with them, and they were doing many, many stuff for me, just flying over my house or anything. And when I was 18, I went to the army to be helicopter pilot, actually.
Really?
And well, yeah, but I was too small for 1 centimeter.
No
Yeah.
way. Couldn't you? I don't know. Couldn't you subject yourself to a stretching bench for
I
the
did
week
it,
before?
actually.
Oh my god.
I did it actually, and of course nothing works as I
No.
wanted.
Oh,
The minimum
man.
you need is 1 meter 60, and it was 1 meter 59. Now I'm 1 meter 58, so I'm seeing I'm just getting older. You know how?
Yeah, I know how that
could,
feels.
you could put your air up.
Yeah.
Upside down. You know?
Fantastic idea. I'm sure she never came across that one.
So actually, I mean, I love to enjoy my life flying a lot, and when this happened, I said, okay, so being helicopter pilot, it's too expensive. So I will try to be aircraft pilot on the 747. And
Which is very cheap, guys.
I mean, but to be honest,
Kind
guys,
of.
no, I have to say something. To be honest, everything is just possible, because when I start my course to be pilot, I was just earning like maybe 900 euros a month actually. So I was not like, wow.
Yeah.
And I found a solution with my bank for a loan agreement.
Oh, good.
So to be honest, of course, it's like waves, but everything is just possible. If you want to be pilot,
Yeah, that's
you can
true.
do it.
That's true.
And then this squirrel was still in my mind forever. You know,
And
I just
At which age was that when you decided then you should go for the 747? That was before you were flying?
Oh
or?
yeah, I was maybe 8 or something. It's also a long
That's
story,
amazing,
to
you know,
be honest.
dreams do
other
come true.
girls, they are playing with Barbie dolls and stuff.
Not me.
I want to fly. as
I've never
well.
Natasha
had
is
any
doing
Barbies.
this, you know, calculation of which
Yeah.
aircraft type she
Leap.
would fly.
Lift formula.
The thing is, you have to know in Biarritz, you don't have any heavy aircraft coming there. It's a small airport, you know, so it's only like Airbus 320s or Embraer, that kind of stuff. And I will never forget, because my dream was to see a real 747. And my dad was coming back from work in the evening. It was like 9 p.m. and he doesn't know anything about aircraft, you know. And they look at me and say, let's go with your mom. I say, what's happened? Yeah, there is just strange aircraft at the airport. I was like, yeah, my dad is something wrong in his mind, you know, it's impossible. He said, yeah, there is your aircraft, the 747 or whatever. I said, no, come on, he's just dreaming, you know, it's impossible. So we went there. I was 8, yeah. And I've seen this huge and beautiful 747-200
No.
in front of me, and I was crying like never.
Really?
And we were waiting with my parents maybe like 4 to 5 hours for takeoff. I mean, it was an emergency landing in Biarritz.
Okay, they diverted and
Yeah,
they usually
they
did not come
diverted
to
because
town.
one guy had a heart attack or something.
Okay.
So we were waiting, I think, around until 2 or 3 in the morning. My mom was working at 6 a.m.
Really? What an effort.
Yeah, and then after that, I had my first flight on a 747 when I was 13.
Okay.
And actually, I made my first jump seat on the 747 with Air France on a 300. And then I was just like, okay,
Wow, okay.
this
that's
is definitely
it.
what I
Yeah.
want with the squirrel. You know, I want to be a helicopter pilot and I want to fly the 747.
Wow.
I mean, it's a longer story because then I was flying with a friend of mine who was captain on the 747. But anyway. So yeah, when I start my career on the King Air, I still have this dream flying the squirrel, the helicopter, for many, many years. So I was keeping the money a lot for quite a few years actually. I was working as much as I can, also with Atlanta actually. And when it was possible, yes, I was paying some hours, quite a few hours.
Uh-huh.
For example, I was flying like maybe 5 hours on the helicopter. I was working 2 months. I was
Wow.
flying 5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't come for free, yeah?
And no, of course, nothing is free, but I mean, when you have a dream, you have to do everything. If you can
True.
do it, if your health is fine, I mean, if it's in good shape or anything, yeah, just do it.
True.
And I mean, my husband is rescue helicopter pilot,
Okay.
so he's helping me a lot as well. He's always following me with all of my crazy stuff.
Okay, nice.
So yeah, I got my helicopter license almost 4 months ago. I'm still a baby, yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
it's fresh
you.
then. Okay.
So yeah.
So the ink is still fresh on the box that you
Definitely.
ticked.
It's super fresh.
Yeah, nice.
And so actually, I'm flying my first dream, 747, and my other dream, the squirrel.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Super nice.
I just want to enjoy my life as much as I can.
Yeah, well, it seems like you're doing that.
Of course I am.
But help me, squirrel. It's the H125.
Yes, it's
That's
the H25. The name in French is écureuil.
Oh yeah, right, and that
Yeah.
squirrel. Okay, now I got it.
And,
Finally, slow but damn there.
I found very good company to do it in France.
Okay.
The name is Mont Blanc Hélicoptère de
Oh.
France. It's 2 companies, and well,
Oh.
that is super good.
You know, I know sometimes one film brings you to the idea for the next film. I remember, maybe you remember in the Magma Air Atlanta film that we did, Giovanni, that I was having the idea while I was doing the interview in the back that maybe we should do this for Saudia as well. Since we have a connection. And here we are today.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
now that you speak about flying the H125, there is a gentleman called Uli. And Uli is an owner of a PC-12 and an H125.
Yeah.
And he's a very, very fine gentleman that I had the privilege of doing a couple of films with in his aircraft during the pandemic, when no one, would have had the idea to, no commercial operator would have let you into the flight deck. Uli was there and he kept it going and did some really, really nice films. And he has this squirrel in his garden, actually. And we are still, we never pursued the plan. We did some canyon flying in Saint-Tropez.
Yeah.
That was awesome. But he has this special license for doing alpine flying and landing in the mountains and stuff. I don't know. Should we ask him one day to catch up on that idea and do some flying? Maybe we ask him if the 3 of us could. You're out, Giovanni. You're out. But not you.
I was about to say thank you
No.
for including me.
No.
Okay.
No helicopter.
It's quite scary. This thing.
It's not scary. This is the best way to fly.
No,
I
you
mean,
don't want.
come on.
You never wanted to
You
fly.
know what is
helicopter,
good
right?
is a 747. You can fit some squirrel on in
Yeah.
the main deck actually.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's true. I think we ask Uli, right?
Definitely.
Maybe we should do that.
But do you know this Paris Dakar?
Yes.
Okay, they are doing Paris Dakar in Saudi Arabia for the last 2 years.
Oh yeah, I
think.
heard about that. Yeah.
And this is Helicopter de France, which is coming with 10 or around 10 helicopters.
Wow.
They are
Wow,
always
okay.
coming there.
And they are
yeah.
ferried by cargo planes, or are they
No.
go flying themselves there?
No.
Ship.
Yeah.
Cheaper.
I would love to have them in the, in the main deck. That would be perfect.
Boring. Yeah.
That would be perfect. At least if they need, I can fly next to you, just straight to Jeddah. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, they got to make sure they don't get stuck in the Suez in that case.
Definitely. So, I mean, to be honest, flying helicopter is a different world, but it's also really amazing. I know many people, many pilots are scared by flying helicopter, actually.
I've always.
I'm sure he is. Look at his face.
You know,
Really?
I never
I'm not
really,
scared,
I never really believed this auto rotation thing, but yeah, whatever. Like, I can't say I'm particularly convinced that it's.
The thing is, I'm not scared to fly helicopter. I'm cheap. Somebody pays my license, no problem.
But it's, that's the problem with helicopters. So yeah, I mean, long story, love story. But flying the 747, come on, I'm enjoying all
That's
flying.
it. That's it. Yeah. That's it.
This is not because it's a big airplane or whatever. To be honest, I don't mind about that.
It's
but
an icon.
this is exactly.
It's an icon. That's it. And it's definitely one of the most beautiful planes in the
It
world.
is.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for that. To be honest, I mean, my life for the last 3 years is super easy. Flying the 747, enjoying home at the same time. I mean,
Perfect.
this is just fantastic
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah.
Depend of people, but yeah.
Yeah. It seems pretty good.
You know what? I have a funny story. Last time I went to Accra.
Accra.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I was doing the walk around on the aircraft, and it's true. One guy came to me. I mean, a handling guy. I don't know. He looked at me. See, are you the pilot of the aircraft? I said, yeah, I'm first officer. He looked at me. And said, really? Yeah. Why? Because you're so small. I was like, well.
Nice. That's nice. So he learned something. Yeah, but I mean, also I think this is encouraging for, there's many young people out there watching us now, and of course there's a lot of old stereotypes on
Yeah.
eligibility
Yeah,
criteria
sure.
for becoming a pilot, you may not have glasses, or you may not, have a certain size.
I have contact lenses. So
yeah.
You see?
So it's. I think these times are very much over.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and
Yeah,
whatever issue you have, or even if it's a certain
True.
sickness that you have, I mean, go to the doctor to find out.
Definitely.
There may be ways to accomplish.
Yeah.
Don't rule it out up front.
That's true,
Yeah.
right?
So, how is? I take the freedom to.
Buon appetito, my friend.
Thank
Bon
you
appetit.
very much. Thanks a lot.
Sorry,
Merci
we cannot-
beaucoup.
We cannot
Mille
give you a
grazie.
nice glass of wine. I'm
Oh
sorry.
no,
about
not
that.
again. No, after last night's experiment, I'm done
okay.
with that. So,
What did you choose there?
teriyaki chicken.
Chicken, okay.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Nice.
And how is this airline food for you? Is it still something that you can actually eat, or would you? It looks like a good quality to me, actually, what I'm seeing here.
it depends of the airports and the catering, of course. It's really
Yeah.
variable. But in Jeddah we have good soups. I love the soup, Jeddah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good soups.
Yeah.
So they put catering in Jeddah.
Yeah, of course.
Wow, this is only for one leg.
Yeah, but you will see in Jeddah we're gonna
Yeah,
have a lot
yeah,
of
we get-
catering, I guess.
Oh, hey, one question. Do we get dates in Jeddah?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I love the Saudia dates.
You can eat all.
No, well, that
Yeah,
would
all
not be.
for you.
Yeah, you don't like it?
No,
A
well,
lot of
that-
energy.
Oh.
Next time I look like the Michelin.
No, 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 no.
The Michelin.
I am Michelin.
Then I take you to train with me. Okay.
Yeah, please.
Anytime.
Yes, please.
I give you the
That-
program and everything.
Yeah, that could be a separate film. You know what? If I had a choice between flying helicopters with Natacha and doing a workout with you,
I will
sorry,
show you.
Giovanni.
You see?
Sorry, Giovanni.
You see?
Okay.
That was a friend of mine and I came with a seaplane to say hi.
So you're flying seaplanes.
Yeah.
That's something different as well. How did you get into sea?
I-
At which age did you decide you wanted to fly seaplanes then? Maybe 2 or 5?
Two and a
To be
half.
honest, I want to fly everything. So, but this is cool. Look at this.
It's absolutely awesome.
I love aviation too much, I
It's
guess.
so cool.
Seaplane, it's so cool. Have you flown seaplane
no,
already?
no, I've never flown.
It's
seaplane.
super cool.
So tell us a little bit about your seaplane flying. That's awesome.
Well, actually, we have a school in France. I think there is not much. You have another school in Como, in Italy.
Okay.
And I think that's I don't know. But yeah, I mean, this is maybe. Oh, hold on. Maybe it's at 2 hours from my place. So you have a sea base, which is seaplane base, sorry, which you have like one Cessna 185, 3 Super Cup, and many lakes around. So usually you use the same lake, but you have other one if you want.
Okay.
So the training, if I remember, is around 5 hours flight time, and then you have a final test, something like this. I don't remember,
Okay.
but it's pretty amazing because, I mean, flying a seaplane, there is nothing difficult. I would say the only good the good point is you can always land or take off with headwind because you choose the way you want to land actually. And
Sure.
yeah, this is a pretty good school. It's funny because sometimes you can do what you can do. You can just bring the seaplane somewhere. You go somewhere having a barbecue, you know, in the lake. And yeah, I mean, this is really, really cool. I
Sounds
like it.
fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's super fun. Yeah, I like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have a particularly favorite destination for layovers?
I love New York. I mean, it's
Oh, yeah?
really standard and typical, but
No, not.
I don't know why.
say that.
I really feel like I'm going home when I'm in New York, actually.
Really?
Yeah. And for the first time, I discovered Anchorage like maybe 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I love it. I love it too. But that's also what I like in this job. We are flying everywhere around the world, so you discover new people, new culture, and this is really nice.
Yeah.
And but I have to say, yeah, I really love America, Canada. And well, so in New York for me it's really typical and standard, but yeah, I love New York definitely.
Yeah.
And Anchorage, I would love to go back there to discover this place because it's such a beautiful place. People are so nice and lovely, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And Nairobi, it's also a very good place. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I think chances for you should be there, right? I think going back.
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah. I can't choose. Yeah, I like.
Napoli.
That's home. Yeah, I like the U.S. Yeah, New York. Well, we never with Atlanta. We never go to LA, but I did it with the UK. It was nice.
Yeah.
Hong Kong is also nice, not at the moment.
No, of course.
Because at the moment we have a restriction for COVID. South Africa is nice, but even Nairobi.
South Africa is nice, yeah. Oh, Nairobi is fantastic too.
It's nice too.
But there is a beautiful place, which is better than nothing else. I mean, the best one.
Tell me.
Home.
Yeah, true.
Home, yes.
I mean, that's also what I like in this job because, for example, you can be away for 3 weeks, a month, and you're enjoying flying everywhere.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to say, of course, you're tired.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes you're in a bad mood, you want to go home. I mean, it's normal, you know. But then you go home and you're always enjoying your time at home. And after 2 to 3 weeks, it's also time to go back to work,
Yeah,
you know. And I love that, actually.
Yeah,
I
it's
really love
good.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Cycle, yeah.
There is no routine. My husband is not fed up of me because I'm not very often at home.
That does help as well, yeah.
Definitely.
That's good, yeah.
So yeah, that's part of the game, I think, and that's also one of the reasons why you always enjoy home. Because when you go there, you're just taking all moments.
Yeah,
to do
you
something or-
appreciated the
Yeah,
time.
you really
more.
appreciate your time home.
Yeah.
Air Atlanta owns a simulator at BA. It's owned by Air Atlanta.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
nice.
So it's a 747 sim, which so we have to do as pilots every 6 months. We go to the simulator, which is first we do a proficiency check,
Okay.
which is a session of 4 hours, where we simulate a flight. Actually, we simulate 2 flights, and we simulate malfunctions on this flight, and we have to deal with it,
Okay.
make decision. It's fascinating thing to see. Maybe if you have a chance one day, maybe you can talk to Atlanta about it.
Yes, I
Going to the sim.
would love to. Would love to.
It's very
Yes.
interesting.
And
I will never forget your story of, wasn't it your initial screening at
yeah, it's
Atlanta
the
that was
screening.
done
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
737-200?
That's
Yeah, that story in the first film was really, really good.
Yeah, because I was flying Airbus, and then I went to do assessment for Atlanta.
Yeah.
And the sim was a 73, I think it was 737.
Yeah.
200.
200.
Yeah, the
Okay. The old
needles
one,
and stuff, and I was used to glass cockpit, no trim. That was a big shock, you know.
But you flew the MD-80,
Yes,
so
but many years before.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, but flying Boeing is so sexy. I mean, you fly.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's I have,
Of course.
you know, you don't want to look bad at an
Yeah.
assessment.
Of course.
And I was like, oh, it's gonna be it's gonna look ugly. Yeah, so I did the simulator, and the second. Normally we do 2 days in Atlanta. First day is a proficiency check, an assessment that we are proficient. So it's a little exam, let's call it. And then on day 2 we do training, which we depends of the syllabus. Now we are going towards winter. So what we did is we focus on cold weather operations,
Oh, yeah,
slippery
okay.
runway,
Yeah.
stuff like this.
Yeah.
And of course, the main point when we go to simulator is to learn something, to finish the session. Yeah, it's a bit stressful and so, but you have to take something with you. We try to simulate a real life, but of course it's very difficult to simulate what happened in real life.
Definitely.
So this time I really enjoyed it. Also last time, the time before we did a lot of manual flying, raw data flying, to keep up the skills,
Yeah.
Also this time, but we were focusing on seeing how the aircraft reacts in certain circumstances.
You've flown in business aviation before?
No, never.
No, never. Okay. In business aviation, you just come on base, then you wait for flight. So you have to wait like for 24 hours.
Yeah.
They call you just, when they need you, and it's changing like maybe 20 times an hour sometimes.
Okay.
And what I like with the freighter is more or less the same. I mean, you never know what you're gonna do.
Okay.
To be honest, for me, when I'm on base, I'm on base. I don't care. I mean, I'm already on base. So and I like it because you're going to Nairobi, and then you're gonna have a roster change. Finally, you're going to Dubai or whatever.
Yeah.
And I like it because you never know what can happen actually.
Yeah. It's like a surprise egg.
And this is a part I like actually. So.
Yeah.
But it's been like business aviation for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But better. Being business aviation, that was crazy.
Yeah, must be very exhausting as well. Yeah?
Well, yes.
But some fun people, probably some interesting people there.
Yeah, but winter time in Moscow, that was a story.
Oh man, like what? minus 20 or?
Minus 30.
30.
But we were also flying to in the north of Russia, which was like minus 40 or.
No, yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I miss Russia. I really miss Russia.
Russia.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was there 3 years, and I really missed this place. Yeah.
We never flew together.
Never.
This is first time.
Never.
Really?
Yeah, that's the
First
first time.
time.
He was the lucky one, Everybody knows I'm a little monster.
I'm not totally convinced of that, but
She's behaving because of you.
That's fine.
Just, I mean, now that we have just passed sunset here, where are we geographically at this point?
We are all flying Greece. Well, we are on the Aegean Sea in a.
Aegean?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can see that here. Well, I don't know if you want to.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
can
that's
leave it
great.
there. So you see,
This is
Okay, so we're en route from Greek
Chania,
mainland
yeah.
to.
with the Herculean
Crete.
just over there,
Yep.
and then we have the Egyptian coast.
Okay.
So we're on the way,
Oh,
and Jeddah.
it's not that much left actually. Huh?
Jeddah is just over there. So
Oh.
we got Crete, Egyptian coast, and then Jeddah.
we're
How much flying time left?
We're almost halfway, actually.
Yeah,
Halfway.
yeah.
Yeah, Jeddah is really not far from mainland Europe, right?
No,
It's
no,
like
no.
the entire flight time was like what, 5 hours or?
Yeah, 5
5 hours 16.
Okay.
5:15. Yes.
It's not much. It's like Canary
No,
Islands.
that is fine actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good strategic
Yeah.
airports for cargo.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I think Saudia Cargo, it's probably is gonna even grow much
Yeah.
more in the future because of
Yeah.
this. The position is perfect to connect east, the
Yes.
Far East,
Yeah.
and Europe,
That's
And
true.
Africa as
Yeah.
well, right?
Africa.
Yeah.
it's right
It's
there.
right in
so
the middle. Yeah, I think. I mean, there's so much going on in Saudi Arabia
Oh,
with all
yes,
the
yes.
infrastructure where they build up,
Yeah.
opening up of the country, tourist visa. And
Yeah.
Also for women, I mean,
yeah, open hair,
Yeah.
driving cars.
I mean, to be honest, when we were based there, life was very easy for us.
Yeah,
Good.
I mean, that was pretty good. People nice, and
Yeah, nice people. Yeah.
yeah, nice, really nice people.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, good place.
Giovanni, when did you, at which age did you think about becoming a pilot?
Yeah, well, first time I was the first memory I have is when I was Maybe I was same age. It's just the memory
Oh,
I
yeah?
have, because my father sister, my aunt, she lives in UK.
Okay.
She's I think she's 90 years old, and so we were flying to UK to see them.
Okay.
And my mom was pregnant, I think, and it was my mom, my father, and I. And when we went on board, the cabin crew, they took me to the flight deck,
Oh.
and that was, I think, the time I was stuck here.
Oh yeah.
She came here.
Yeah.
And then then
Ah.
I never thought I could do it. So but then when I finished high school, I went to university for aerospace engineering, but I didn't complete it.
It's a good basis for what you're doing today, I guess.
But then I started flight school, and it worked out. So I'm glad I made that decision, because it's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I started flying professionally in 2004,
Okay.
and then I changed 7 different types I flew.
Yeah. Wow.
How many?
7.
Let me
Seven
see how many I can recall. The 737-200 simulator doesn't count, I guess. So we go with the MD-80,
Yes.
A330,
Yes.
A340.
Yes.
Do we make a difference between the series? No. 300,
No,
600? No. Oh no. Well, then I'm running out of aircraft. A380.
Yes.
747.
And then I flew, before the Airbus, I flew CRJ 900
Ah, yeah.
and Embraer 190.
Ah, good. Okay.
Yeah, because I started on MD-80, then I moved to the company I was working bankrupt. I got hired in a company in Italy called Air One.
Oh yeah.
Airone was the call
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah.
And then we merged with Alitalia. So in Air One I was flying CRJ, then we merged with Alitalia in 2009, and then we transit to Embraer.
Okay.
And then when I left, I went to Emirates and I started on the Airbus.
So that's a huge variation in, or diversity in, the manufacturers.
Yeah.
You had Canadair, Embraer, Boeing, Airbus, McDonnell Douglas. That's amazing. 5 different. So if
I
you
need Antonov next one. Huh?
yeah, absolutely, yes, exactly. I think so. That's missing. So when you compare, I mean, maybe not so much aircraft type wise, but manufacturer, engineering, and philosophy wise.
Yeah, the biggest difference between the American philosophy and the European one. So the Boeing, Embraer, even Bombardier,
McDonnell Douglas as well.
McDonnell Douglas, of course.
Yeah.
They kind of similar, and Airbus, it changes
Okay.
much more. You have a different philosophy.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm not saying which is better. I like both.
I mean, it's
question of
different. Yeah. It's just
you need to get used.
definitely. Yeah.
Of course, Airbus, I like the fact that it's quiet.
Yeah.
It's the flight deck's bigger, but I think from a piloting point of view, it's just a matter of getting used to.
Yeah. Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the A320 probably is a little bit bigger than what you have up front here. Or
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah. I don't know the A220.
It's
Well,
beautiful airplane. Very
beautiful.
nice. Huh? Yeah.
You have been filming it.
Yes, beautiful.
I didn't have a chance to watch the video yet, but I saw.
Shame
I saw
on you, Giovanni.
Air
Now,
France just
now
got
I'm
the
flying
first one.
helicopter again.
Now,
Forget the gym.
No, it's beautiful airplane. Really.
It's super
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
must be.
It's Canadian engineering, really nice.
I was at Bombardier when I did the type rating on CRJ. We went to Canada.
Oh, yeah.
At the Bombardier
And
factory.
Mirabel.
We were at
Montreal Mirabel?
Montreal Mirabel.
Yeah, Mirabel,
correct.
yeah. How? I mean, the cargo is not just squeezed in. When the aircraft is parked there in the morning, you can already see all the pallets and containers nicely lined up, and it looks like such a high quantity that you would guess like, okay, just get in whatever. But the weights and dimensions and everything, there must be like a engineered loading plan individual to each flight, right?
Yes, we have
Oh, you have it even. Okay.
a piece of paper. This paper is the
load and trim sheet.
And you have the load planner there.
and that's the load plan.
Just
the big
silo-
one.
This
Yeah.
one here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's big
Okay.
one.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that looks like engineering, in fact.
So
yes.
this is why we have Eddie,
Yeah, the
our
load,
load
master. Yeah.
He is in charge of loading
Wow.
the aircraft. The aircraft needs to be loaded properly because we have the total weight of the aircraft is how do you say the results the force of the weight is so-called a vector
Okay.
physics from a physics point of view, and the weight vector has to be within limits, certain limits, because if it's too forward or too backwards, we will not be able to control the aircraft. It's I can draw you a little drawing. I don't mean to teach anything to anybody, but it's a matter of equilibrium of forces. So you have lift, weight. So you have the lift generated by the wings, and the vector of the lift moves back and forth according to the angle of attack, for example, the shape of the wing.
It's an awesome drawing.
They call me Picasso. My grandmother was a painter, and I didn't take after her. I don't have her same skills. And then you have the weight vector. So if the aircraft is loaded in a wrong way, this weight vector may be up here or all the way back.
Yeah.
So it will this arm create a moment, so-called moment in physics. So we will not be able to counteract. So actually what happens is when at rotation you may not rotate.
Yeah.
So what the load master is in charge of is to correctly distribute the weight on board of the aircraft, and then use these documents to calculate the position of the center of gravity. Okay?
All right.
So once we have that, we calculate the position of the trim for takeoff. We have a table, and according to the type of thrust we're using, which can be full thrust or derated thrust, the position of the center of gravity, we set up a trim, and it's one of the call you hear on the checklist, on the before start checklist. So here we have a scale. Today the result of the calculation would give us a stabilizer trim of 4.1. Is here from
All right.
the calculation done by Eddie and checked by us, of course. So before takeoff we set the trim at 4.1, and it's one of the call we do during the before takeoff check, before start checklist, so we don't miss it. So the aircraft of course has a limit in weight, maximum takeoff weight, and each zone has a limit of weight you can load in that area, and it's very difficult to see on this one, but you can see the what I was telling you about before. You have the one pallet load in this position. This is the aircraft. It's very difficult to see. And so Eddie loaded them, one on the left side, on the right side, so in a way that the lateral limit is not exceeded.
Wow.
Then we have the lower cargo. Yeah, that's it.
It's quite impressive.
Yeah,
It
more or
was-
less. I mean,
Sorry for the explanation. It's a bit, it's a
I
bit
know, it's-
complicated
No, no, no,
to
it's-
explain in a simple way. But
no, it's very.
I think for the simple way, it's fine,
clear,
you know.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Because we can talk about that for many, not hours, but then it's gonna be too.
No, yeah.
It's gonna be boring.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be really
too
boring.
complicated.
So for us,
Yeah, it's
simple
gonna be too
mind like me.
complicated, of course.
then that paper here on top, the white paper.
Okay.
What happened is after the load master's done the loading, brings this piece of paper here, where is written what he put on board. If there is any temperature requirement, so for example, as I told you before, we have vegetables, perishable, so we need to keep a certain temperature that we check from here, and we can regulate from the flight deck. Now, today is not the case, but we could have dangerous so-called dangerous goods. So some goods on board that may need a special care. And that's very complex way to load it, because some of them cannot be too next to each other. Some of them needed to be packed in a certain way, which is all written in a big manual, which is down there, DGR. You see that red big manual?
No, fuel
No, that one.
quantity. Oh yeah, the DJR one. Yeah.
It's all written there.
Wow, that is big. Yeah.
And there is also written there, so now your job is to learn this
yeah, by heart.
by heart.
Okay, yeah, it's
Of
Give-
course, it's here for consultation, of
yeah.
course.
Give me 20 minutes.
So this is very important.
Yeah.
And but
I was looking for the.
There it is.
Here, yeah.
what is important for us is this pink piece of paper.
Okay.
So when we get this one, when we have dangerous goods, and today is not the day. For example, what could be a dangerous good is, let's say we have a car.
Oh yeah.
We carry a car. The car has a battery.
Yeah.
A battery is a dangerous good.
Yeah. Okay.
And it would be classified, the dangerous good, with one of these. We'll have like a number and a letter here, written somewhere here. So what we do, according to that code, we go on this piece of paper and we find out which kind of dangerous good is and what we have to do in case this could generate maybe a fire or there is a leak or something. So we
Yeah.
have a code with the procedure, what to do. So this is for us to consult and do that. We normally, when we
Okay.
have it at the departure, we have a quick look through this just to have in mind what's going on.
Okay.
And in case of emergency, we need to give the ATC a phone number, which is on the paper here,
Okay.
so they can call this number and know exactly what dangerous goods we have on board. So when we land in emergency,
Ah.
the
Wow.
rescue team knows which kind of dangerous goods are on board.
Wow.
It's quite
Good system.
sounds complex, but you know it's to be safe.
Yeah. Good system.
So I don't know if you ever seen this funny video. It's funny, but about Alitalia, MD-11 cargo. I think it was MD-11. They took off from Boston or JFK, I don't remember, and they were carrying some perishables, which were onions,
Oh.
and some dangerous goods. But they went in flight and they started to smell something funny. So they didn't know what was it. So they thought it was one of the dangerous goods, some acid leaking or something. So they went in emergency, declared emergency, led back. It was the onions, they were rotten.
Oh, damn it.
Really?
And there have been cases in Asia, I think, where how you call the stinky fruit there? Is
yeah,
it durian? or
durian, yeah.
Durian, I
Yeah.
think. Where you know, where they have to wear the donning mask on
Oh
the
my
flight
God.
because the durian is going crazy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, once we brought chickens,
Live chicken.
live chicken.
Oh, pork.
The smell,
oh,
it came all the way up. You didn't
Oh.
want to have your lunch. Your,
oh.
or maybe as a revenge fried chicken or something. But
It was really strong.
oh yeah.
So yeah, this is, and as you saw during the walk around, we have fire extinguishers and
Yeah.
oxygen masks
Yeah.
that we need to use in case of fire.
It was a good explanation actually that you gave with this
The long
yellow
stick,
tube, this long thing. I always ask myself what the hell is it good for, but never ask the question. So thank you. Yeah, it's good. Nice
Very
little detail. Natasha, is there any particularly fancy cargo? Did you ever have helicopters on board?
Unfortunately, not.
Not yet.
I think it's better for me.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna steal it.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Well, never. But actually, we had quite a few helicopters flying in our aircraft. But I never got this chance for now.
Okay.
It's gonna happen soon, for sure, one day.
Somebody was asking on the previous video, the one we published, what means below the line?
Exactly. It's good that you recall it. I came across that comment. Yes.
So this is a normal checklist, like this, they can see, right?
Yes.
So what we do, we have a before start checklist, after start checklist, before takeoff checklist. But as you can see, the before start checklist is quite long, and it's split in 2 sections. So what we do, we read, when I ask for the checklist, I ask before start checklist down to the line. So on the checklist you have this line, which tells us to stop. So the first officer reads the checklist, I answer, and then when reaches the line, it says down to the line. So now we stop, we do our things, and then I will ask checklist below the line, and then we continue until the end of the checklist. This is briefly what means.
Very good
below the
point.
line.
Thanks for remembering, actually.
No
yeah.
problem.
Thank you.
So now we set up, and Natacha set up the approach for Jeddah. Now the ATIS is telling us there are Jeddah has 3 runways. It's a big airport, 3 parallel runways.
3 parallel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
and very long runway, very nice. But they are using only 2 runways. So the runway is 3-4 left, center, and right. At the moment, they're using only 3-4 left and 3-4 right.
Okay.
The ATIS, that's what the ATIS tells us. So what we did, Natacha prepared for the approach, so programmed the flight management system here with the approach for runway 3-4 right. We expect that according to the area where we're parking.
Mm-hmm.
And then we can set up also route 2, which is a backup route.
Okay.
So she set in the route to the 3-4 left, the other runway. So
Yeah.
we went together, we went through the points in the computer, in the FMS. Together we checked that is correct with charts. They are correct.
Okay.
So all is checked, both. So we're now good to go. She will
Perfect.
give me a briefing in a little while. And but most likely we expect a vector. So the ATC will give us
Anyway.
heading shortcuts
Yeah.
to the challenge in this case is that they may give you a shortcut, so you have to manage your altitude, because
Oh yeah.
the track distance you have here may be more than you actually have. So
The Queen doesn't like slowing down a lot, right?
yeah, it's very efficient design
Mhm.
from the aerodynamic point of view. So she likes to fly.
Yeah.
So
on the fast track.
in that case, we need to add drag, and to add drag, we can use speed brakes. We have the flaps that they actually not for that reason. And the biggest speed brake is the gear. We can use
Oh,
them
yeah?
a bit earlier if we
Okay.
need. Yeah. For the flaps is 20,000 feet, but it's a certification model.
Okay.
And the speeds are up there for each flap setting.
Yeah.
The maximum speed. Yeah.
Okay. So for flaps 1, 280 knots.
Yeah.
And
So
then
what was it? We calculate our approach speed is 151.
151.
150.
Okay.
Yeah, +5, 156.
The 5 is, we add 5 knots when we use automatic thrust.
Ah, okay. Just as a safety margin, or?
Yeah, it is because this has a
Oh, it's
reaction time.
reaction time. Okay.
But Natacha will disconnect autopilot at a certain point and auto thrust. Pardon me, auto throttle. That's an Airbus thing, auto thrust.
It's fine.
And then she will be flying manually the approach. The weather is nice.
Yeah.
The aircraft is capable to land with an automated approach.
Nice.
We do that when in low visibility situations.
Okay.
Like this morning in Liège, it was foggy, so I think the guys that came in, they may have done that.
Yeah, may have done. Yeah, right. It
Because
was
I-
pretty foggy. Yeah.
Can be really impressive, to be honest. Yeah.
I
No, really.
Yeah.
have never done so many low visibility approach like since I'm captain on this aircraft.
Yeah?
All my previous career. So it's pretty impressive, and even if you lose an engine, the aircraft is capable to
Yeah.
land automatically. You want to see something? You see these lights? It's like a snake.
Sorry, what is it?
It's like a snake, you see?
Look.
Oh, the River Nile.
This is the river, so house is only around the river. So we are all flying Egypt, and you can see the lights down here. The houses, they just follow the river Nile. So the lights you see, like a snake in the desert, it's just the river, the Nile. It's quite impressive.
It is.
Very good.
So if you want, we can do the descent approach checklist.
Yes, ma'am. Descent and approach checklist. Recall.
Checked.
Auto brakes.
3.
Landing data.
VREF 151, minimum 250.
Altimeters.
Preset 1008, cross-checked.
Approach briefing.
Completed.
Descent and approach check. Complete.
Thank you.
No problem.
Almost there.
Descent flight level 330 Saudia 916.
330 set.
Check.
Vertical speed.
Let's go dark mode so our eyes get used to the...
So geographically, where are we now?
In the sky.
Yeah, I mean over in the sky. Yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Well, to be honest, we are between the Egyptian coast and
Okay.
the Arabian coast. So
We are leaving soon Egyptian airspace.
we are we are flying over the Red Sea for now. So
You're right, Patrick.
I'm all right,
You're
thank
falling
you.
asleep.
No, not yet. Excited to see the landing.
Okay.
Okay, guys. We're about to approach into Jeddah now, and a lovely first part of this journey comes to an end already. And this will also be the end of this first film. Now enjoy a beautiful landing here by Natacha, performed in excellence in Jeddah. I did this pressure thing again,
No
didn't
pressure.
no pressure at all.
Okay, sorry. And then the continuation of our flight today, the second leg, which happens right after to Nairobi, that will be published in a separate film that you will also find at Air-Clips.com. And yeah, what can I say? Enjoy the landing.
So Patrick, can you switch off that switch that before
afterburner.
Oh, the afterburner. Yes, absolutely. Okay,
should be
hold
12
on tight.
12 o'clock position.
Yes, and go. Ooh, I did it.
Very good. Thank you.
Looks good.
You did it.
So what has physically happened now?
Now we are not blowing any more cold air into the cargo base, the lower cargo.
Okay.
But now we are approaching to land, so it's not really needed.
Adjusting the...
We're doing that to avoid condensation,
Yeah.
the hot and humid weather at the destination. That's all. And as you see before, I told you this high flow, the air conditioning system is reducing the flow of air. So now it's off.
Shit. Flap 1.
Speed check. Flaps 1.
LSC in judgment Delta Lima identified on my side.
It's also identified on my side.
Good.
Above.
Checked.
To slow down for the tour.
Yeah, flap 5.
Speed check. Flaps 5. Restriction over
Yes. Okay. Localizer armed.
Check.
Flap 10.
Speed check. Flaps 10. Crew, take your seats for landing, thank you.
Saudia 916, established 18-2, good day.
Let's establish it into Saudi 916, thank you, good day. Alright, locking alive, lock captured.
Checked. Approach is armed.
Check. Jeddah Tower, Salam Alaikum, Saudi 916 Heavy, becoming established on the LS 34 left.
Salam Rahmatullah, Saudi 916 Heavy, Jeddah Tower. Entering 310 at 08, runway 34 left, clear to land.
Clear to land on runway 34 left, Saudi 916.
Lights on.
checked.
So you still have the altitude constraint. So
That's okay. Yep. Runway is there.
checked.
So you're on the right path.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Flap 20.
Speed is checked. Flaps 20.
Flap 20 speed set.
Check. Glass roll capture.
Check. Missed approach altitude. 4,000 sets.
Check.
Flap 30.
Speed check. Flaps 30.
Final speed 156 set.
Check.
Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Cabin.
Secure. Checked.
Check. Speed brake.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Flaps.
30.
Landing checklist completed.
Thank you.
We are clear to land.
Manual flight manual thrust.
Check. Keep speed a bit on the top side.
Yes.
That's fine. Unless you want me to correct here.
Yeah, please if you can correct for me.
Add 5 extra knots. Yeah. 500.
Checked.
Approaching minimums. Minimums.
Landing.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
control.
Auto brakes off.
Checked.
Vacating to the right.
Bravo 5.
Saudia 916 confirm taking Bravo 5.
I affirm vacating Bravo 5 for Saudia 916.
Copy that. Right on Bravo, then uniform, hold short Foxtrot.
Right on Bravo uniform, hold short of Foxtrot for Saudia 916. Okay, so next to the right,
That's
clear
checked.
right.
Clear left, turning right on Bravo.
Right on Bravo, then uniform, which is at the end.
Very good. That's a little bit small light.
Sure.
Okay.
And all good. Brakes are good.
Uniform. as
Yeah,
you
so
said.
it's at the end actually. You just continue to uniform, then left at uniform, and then all shot of Foxtrot.
So Patrick, you know we have a speed limit too.
Oh yeah, do you?
Yes, it's just 30 knots.
30 knots.
So we're here. We check the speed.
All right.
So otherwise we get a ticket.
Oh, that's
And,
not good.
No,
No.
we get the picture.
Not
with-
really.
Yes, I want to see that picture.
So we slow down. So there's a technique to taxi to keep the brake temperature under control, and it's you speed up like 25 knots or maximum 30, and then slow down to 10 knots.
Oh, really?
To don't be taxiing, riding the brakes. Otherwise,
Ah, all right.
the temperature that you can see here.
And you would always have to hit the brakes because the idle power of the engines would increase the speed still.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. And where can we see the temperature?
Here you can
Oh, yeah.
see this number is not the temperature in degrees. It's a number then translates for us.
How
If it
bad
goes
it
at
is.
if it goes to 5, it becomes yellow.
Okay.
It's still okay.
Ah, okay.
If it goes to 7, it starts to be a bit.
Yeah, 7 is not.
But what happens if the temperature is
Call
so
a fire
high?
brigade.
The tires they have a fuse.
Okay.
So to avoid the tire to explode for the temperature, this fuse will melt, and the tire will go flat. That's
Ah, okay.
Clear right.
Ah, super
Clear left.
interesting.
it. Check. So this is 9-1,
Yes.
and this gentleman here, I don't know
It's
if he's
waiting
with.
for you. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
good
Makes
man.
sense, yeah.
Let's see, Marshall is inside.
Yeah, marshal are inside. And next to the right.
That's it. Turning into the stand.
Clear right. AP running.
Check. Thank you.
Clear right.
Left. Shutdown procedure, please.
Shutdown procedure. Ready for shutdown.
Flight deck, this ground.
Hello, salam alaikum.
Hi, good evening, Captain. Checks in place.
Thank you very much. Then releasing parking brake. Park brake released.
Checks are running, sir.
Thank you very much.
Good.
All right, folks.
So here we are.
Here we are. We are in Jeddah. So it was a nice approach. I hope you were able to see. It was a bit dark, maybe for you.
No, it worked.
okay.
And I'm sure it worked. And great landing, Natacha. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lots of hand flying to enjoy here. Thank you very much. And it
Thanks
was
to you.
super pleasant flight.
Thanks a
It
lot.
was our pleasure, and so I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we wait for you
On the second flight.
Second flight.
See
But
you.
stay with me. I have something for you,
Oh.
dear Patrick. You know, on our last encounter,
Yeah.
I took a gift from you. It was a hat.
That was very
It's my favorite hat.
Is it from Disneyland?
And now I have something for Patrick.
Okay, now I'm scared.
You live in a cold country.
True.
So winter is coming, so I have
True.
something to keep you warm. And it's as a scarf.
Oh my god, are you serious?
I can't believe it. Forza Napoli!
That's it.
This is so cool. Forza
That's for
Napoli,
you.
guys. Hey, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
And you have to, unfortunately, this is beautiful, thank you, and I'm gonna wear it every day because I don't have a scarf anymore.
Okay.
I told you I brought a little present for you as well,
Okay.
and I forgot it in the back. Just give me 1 millisecond. Okay, and now you wouldn't necessarily believe this. I
Yeah.
think it's pretty unlikely to happen what's happening here, but now that you don't have this beautiful scarf anymore, what I brought you is is a lovely Saudia scarf,
Very
which
nice.
I was handed over by the CEO of Saudia 2 weeks ago at the occasion of the 91st National Day of Saudi Arabia.
Okay, that's
And the pilots were wearing such scarves during the formation flight.
Wow.
And I thought, since you guys, I'm super sorry that I just got one of
Oh, don't worry about that.
them. But I loved so much the Saudi pilots having that, over their uniform. So I thought
Voila.
I Saudi-nize you now on this beautiful flight.
This is
So
much better than football.
it's much better. Yours is better,
Well,
although this is fantastic already.
Very nice. And I shall say shukran.
Shukran Habibi. Thank you
Okay.
very much. Thanks
you.
a lot for watching, guys. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
having us.
Thank you. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Air-Clips.com.